I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. The latest war of words over the future of the Orange County Government Center played out Thursday afternoon outside Goshen Village Hall, where Goshen Mayor Kyle Roddey unveiled his Orange Oath, a pledge that 5 county legislative candidates signed onto, pledging to take definitive action on the long-closed building by the end of January. Roddey says the inaction caused by partisan political infighting between County Executive Ed Diana and members of the legislature prompted this attempt to hold legislators' feet to the fire.
We deserve a government better than the one that we currently have right now. Most importantly, individuals who sign this oath would support a vote on the future of the building within 1 month of taking office. Now let's be clear, it's my hope that this is a moot point, that this is all irrelevant, because it's my hope that the legislature is going to take action in the next month, 2 months hopefully. However, based on the actions that I've seen in the past year, the past weeks, months, I'm not optimistic about that. Therefore, it's important that we keep the pressure on.
But while Republican legislative candidates Marcus Harigo, Jim DeSalvo, John Ward, Phil Cantorino, and James O'Donnell were signing the pledge, more than a dozen detractors, including current legislator and Democrat County Executive candidate Roxanne Donnery, called the pledge meaningless. Since the legislature voted in February to renovate the government center, they blamed the continuing gridlock on delaying tactics imposed by County Executive Diana and his supporters, and that led to this exchange.
This is incorrect.
Okay.
There has been a vote. It was the Republican chairman's resolution.
Ms. Donnery, I understand that you like interrupting and yelling during meetings. That's not what today is about.
This is incorrect information.
And I hope that
this is incorrect.
And I certainly hope that the current legislature moves forward with any previous votes they've taken. But I haven't seen that. And it's not enough for people to say, who sponsors it? Okay.
The legislature voted in February.
Excuse me.
We're discounting. We live in a democracy, excuse me.
And I live in a county that has a broken government.
Despite the legislature's February vote, the Diana administration instructed a design team to come up with options that involve demolishing parts of the complex. With no contract signed, lawmakers are not expected to see those plans until November at the earliest. The man who the Ulster County DA's office referred to as the face of domestic violence was sentenced to 18 years in prison for first-degree assault for shooting his former girlfriend in the eye in the apartment they shared in Highland. Prosecutors said 28-year-old Jorge Marrero of Poughkeepsie has had a long history of abusive behavior against women. The victim has regained some vision in her eyes since the incident last October. She told authorities Marrero had gotten angry because she was using a computer. Following Marrero's sentencing, the victim, identified as Lauren W., indicated she now plans to work towards becoming an advocate for victims of domestic violence. State police are trying to determine what led up to yesterday's fatal crash in the town of Kingston, where a pickup truck slammed into a house on Jockey Hill Road and then flipped over in the driveway. The driver, 61-year-old Joseph Leary, was pronounced dead at the scene. A woman and her 5-year-old son were in the garage at the time and were unhurt, although their house was heavily damaged. U.S. Postal inspectors have caught up with a Matamoras, Pennsylvania man who they say defrauded credit card companies and banks out of more than $1 million over the past 9 years. 64-year-old Charles Raymond Stato is accused of using fake names, fake addresses, and social security numbers of both living and dead people to open up more than 200 credit card accounts in a fake overpayment scheme that would prompt banks and credit card companies to issue credit balance refund checks that Stato then deposited into accounts he controlled. As a result of the scheme, authorities say companies sent Stato about $1 million in refunds. Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney took a stroll along Main Street in Highland Falls Thursday, talking to Mayor Patrick Flynn and local business owners about the impact of the sequestration and telling them he and others in Congress will do all they can to make sure it doesn't happen again next year. Highland Falls is located outside the gates of West Point, where close to 2,000 civilian workers were furloughed without pay once a week for 6 weeks as the result of recent federal budget cutting. Maloney also told business owners he'll help them in their search for grant money, and he said he'll continue to look for ways to help village leaders fill vacant storefronts. In Sullivan County, Monticello police are looking for two men who robbed a local store at gunpoint early this morning. The pair, armed with handguns, held up the Shell Mart convenience store on Jefferson Street shortly before 1 a.m. The pair ran off with an undisclosed amount of cash. Anyone with information that can aid the investigation is asked to call Monticello Police at 845-794-4422. All calls will be kept confidential. And a popular 19-year-old community-supported agriculture project in Gardner has suspended operations due to soil inadequacy, rodent infestation, and infrastructural weaknesses. The 65-acre Phillies Bridge Farm project, which has been growing food for and with community member shareholders, has been discontinued by the board of directors of the not-for-profit for the rest of the year. Unhappy shareholders who paid $500 at the beginning of the season can now expect only a small refund. Board of Directors Secretary Edie Sherman said the community farming operation was the victim of what she called overconfident projections at the start of the season. Saturday will be the better of the two weather days this weekend here in the Hudson Valley. It'll be mostly sunny Saturday with temperatures reaching the low 80s. More clouds than sun on Sunday with a chance of sprinkles late in the day. It'll be a bit cooler with a high Sunday in the upper 70s. Stay in touch with what's happening this weekend here at Record Online and get the news you need and the features you enjoy in the weekend editions of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.